Rudy Donnarumma. Ezri Konsa. Pressure on Reece James, put on him by Elijah Just, the Motherwell player. He's been a real standout for them in Scotland. Byrne finding Gordon. Looking to open it up for himself here. Didn't really catch it. Falls kindly for Rio Ngamoa. Looks for an opening. Here's Anderson. England going in search of a second to add to that late first half header from Harry Kane. Comfortable header away for Finn Surman. Ngamoa. Exciting young talent into Bellingham. Livramento. Anthony Gordon. England camped around the New Zealand penalty area here, and Ngamoa header clear from Tim Payne, but it's only a temporary respite.
3v3, keep line. 3v3, keep line. Marco, left shoulder, shoulder. Freeze.
Anderson. Ngamoa once more, 17 years of age. Block made by Singh, and Anderson gets the free kick. I'm sure whether he inadvertently had his hand trodden on there, Anderson. But it was just an awkward landing. Sarpreet Singh, by the way, the New Zealander involved in that challenge, set to become the first player of Indian origin to appear at a FIFA World Cup since Vikash Dorasu of France in 2006. Back in New Zealand now, Singh having had a 3-year stint at Bayern Munich from 2019 onwards, made a couple of appearances for Bayern, and he's also been elsewhere in Germany and in Portugal and Serbia in the last few years. Well travelled indeed. 10 minutes into the second half. Plenty going on there. Headed by James. Liberato could catch it with the nod forward. Here's Bellingham. Now Byrne. Gordon. Livramento making the run ahead of him. This is O'Reilly. Anderson. Here's Livramento. Gordon closed down quickly by Garbutt, but finding O'Reilly. There was a foul there on Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney's experience of playing in the heat in Saudi Arabia over the past 2 seasons could come in handy during this World Cup. He's been in outstanding form once again for his club side in the Saudi Pro League, and I was saying ahead of this one that you have to measure your efforts. You have to be a bit cuter with your efforts when you're playing in the heat. That's something he's very much used to these days. It's Reece James eyeing this one up. An intense moment here for New Zealand's defence. Heading towards the hour mark. Decent looking angle here for Reece James to fire it in. Gordon can't see a way through. Ungamoa will try to find one. Who's causing problems here for New Zealand's defence. James and Gamoa. Support from O'Reilly. Finding Livramento. What a delightful touch there from O'Reilly. Real quality. Bellingham. This is excellent from Jude Bellingham. Really good. Gordon into Livramento. England looking to craft an opening. Ivan Toney. Down, penalty, England. Oh, flag has gone up far side. So Bellingham playing the ball forward there. That was a tight one. So Toney down. Under this challenge here. And the flag going up on the far side of the field. It was an anxious moment there for New Zealand for a couple of seconds. A couple of changes coming as well. Tyler Bindon is about to head on, as is Jesse Randall. Second and third changes they will have made in this game. Half an hour remaining. And the check on the video review continues here. New Zealand, meanwhile, are preparing to and are now making changes. Referee coming across to keep an eye on that. The other player, Ben Old, coming on. Kakache, one of those going off. And with half an hour gone, it remains 1-0 to England. And so away we go once more. That was Elliot Anderson with the header. First touch for Ben Old, the number 19, who's got possession again there. Plays for Saint-Etienne in France. He's a regular, actually, for Les Verts, as they tried to win promotion back to Ligue 1 this past season. They lost in the playoffs at the very last hurdle to Nice. An agonising end to the season for Saint-Etienne. Tyler Bindon, one of those coming on. He's been on loan at Sheffield United in England, on loan from Nottingham Forest, the 21-year-old defender. Had a really good season in the Championship with the Blades. Ref's going to check because it's a head injury. Marko Stamenic. And the challenge with Jude Bellingham. Just taking a moment there to make sure the player isn't concussed. It's going through the protocols and looks absolutely fine. And we'll be back in the game momentarily. Stamenic looks as if he's going to be okay. He's quite a highly rated and integral part of the New Zealand midfield and Swansea City midfield as well in the Championship in the UK. Ezri Konsa. It's only the third meeting between England and New Zealand. That's a lovely pass into Ngomara and just getting away from Ivan Toney. Toney, who missed out on the Golden Boot in the Saudi League on the very final day of the season by a single goal. 55 goals in 62 league games over 2 seasons for Ivan Toney in Saudi Arabia. That's an excellent return. 2 more league goals in that time than Cristiano Ronaldo. It's only the second time we've really seen him under Thomas Tuchel. Ivan Toney had a couple of minutes in that defeat to Senegal last summer. Was literally just a couple of minutes and that was it. He's on for 45 minutes here. Passing towards Gordon. Cut out at the back by Michael Boxall initially. Here's Old. He'll take the return. Ben Old, good play. Combining with Jesse Randall, one of the other substitutes. Randall up against Reece James. And James Trafford can see it safely swirling over his crossbar and beyond the byline. Konsa goes a bit longer with that one again. It's a little too far in front of Toney. New Zealand trying to sneak in there behind Reece James. It was aimed towards Randall. James, Konsa, and now with Dan Burn. Gordon into O'Reilly. Ngomara have been waiting patiently on the far side. He's going to try to test Ben Old here now. Back with Reece James, who thankfully has recovered from his latest hamstring injury, certainly to start this trip to North America this summer. Livramento. Anderson. This is the first of two final friendlies as part of the build-up for the FIFA World Cup finals for England in Florida. England's first game in Dallas week on Wednesday against Croatia, but they're playing Costa Rica in Orlando on Wednesday. Here's Livramento. That's the final tune-up match as Anderson lets fly. Goodness me, absolutely blasted that. Midway through the second half. Cooling break for both sets of players. Something which we will become very familiar with during the World Cup finals. Harry Kane's goal separates the two sides. 79th international goal for him today. Almost on the stroke of half-time. But at 1-0, New Zealand will feel that they are at least still in the game. Just looking for that one opportunity to fall, potentially for Chris Wood in front of goal. Well, Thomas Tuchel looks calmer and less in need of giving an animated mini team talk on the touchline. Certainly very different to the break during the first half, where he had plenty to say. England's 3 games, by the way, in the group stages. Croatia on the 17th of June in Dallas. Then they go to Boston to take on Ghana on the 23rd. And then on the 27th, the final group game for England in New Jersey, which, of course, is where the final is. Here's the goal, by the way. England's final group game against Panama on the 27th. New Zealand play a day before England on the 16th. They are in Los Angeles against Iran, their first game. Second and third games for New Zealand, both in Vancouver. They're playing Egypt on the 22nd. And then Belgium, that's their final group game on the 27th. The last time New Zealand were in the World Cup finals was in 2010 in South Africa, and they were unbeaten. They were the only unbeaten side in the World Cup finals that year, but 3 draws in their group games, not enough for them to advance. So this is their 3rd World Cup finals appearance coming up, and they are still to enjoy a victory at the finals. They'll be hoping that changes this time round, but it's certainly going to be set to be a proud occasion for Chris Wood, their captain, who will be joining Steve Sumner, who was the captain in 1982, and Ryan Nelson, the captain, in 2010. And their offside was the call on the VAR against Ivan Toney. Roughly 20 minutes to go. Distance on the kick from Max Crocombe. Comfortably taken by Ezri Konsa. Byrne. Anderson dropping deep to collect possession. He made his debut 9 months ago, Elliot Anderson, but an integral and essential part of England's first choice midfield alongside Declan Rice. Rice having a rest. Throw in to be taken by Tyler Bindon. Bellingham. Konsa. No space here for Anderson. Exploit it with a pass into Bellingham, who finds Ngumoa. New Zealand get the throw. Randall tracking back. One of the substitutes, Jesse Randall. He's going to be joining Dundee United this summer on a free when his current contract with Auckland expires. He's been a breakout star of the A-League, Randall. O'Reilly. Just a hint of shade in parts on this side of the field for Anthony Gordon. Force of willpower kept that one going. Tony trying to set it up, blasted in by Bellingham. Finn Sermon felt the force of that shot from England's number 10. Painful blow there for the defender. Just teed up there by Ivan Toney. Chris Wood sends it into space. Collected by Ben Old initially. Little layoff there by Sermon into Bindon. Back with Michael Boxall. 37 now, Boxall. His experience is important, but Singh's giving it away, and Ngumoa has it. Nico O'Reilly alongside him here. Now with Anthony Gordon. Not for long, tidied up by Bindon, and now venturing forward is Elijah Just, trying to keep it away from Anderson. Bindon's short pass falling at the feet initially of Livramento, and now Bellingham. 15 minutes to go, plus that additional minimum of 3 for the cooling break. Not really a game to quicken the pulse overly, but how often are they when we're just ahead of a major tournament? England with their noses in front, thanks to that Harry Kane header shortly before half-time. What really matters for both teams, of course, is how they play in the next 10 or 11 days when it gets really serious and they're underway at the World Cup. And Ngumoa. It's going to be a corner. By the way, Rio Ngumoa, 17 years, 281 days. He's the 5th youngest player ever to make his debut for the England team. Youngest in the last 6 years. Youngest since Jude Bellingham, who was a little bit younger, 17 years, 136 days when he made his debut in November of 2020. There he is, jostling for position as ever. Ruffling a few defensive feathers. And it comes, Burn with a header down, which takes a deflection and behind for another corner. Here's Tony. Now Elliot Anderson. Rio Ngumoa, the debutant. Just out of reach again for Tony. A few balls towards him, but just marginally too long. A couple of changes now for New Zealand. We're going to see Francis de Vries come on. Elijah Just makes way. There's de Vries, one of the Auckland players. Chris Wood, the captain, gets a rest as well. Barbarouses, Costa Barbarouses is on to replace him for what remains. Costa Barbarouses, 74th cap for him tonight. The Western Sydney Wanderer made his debut a fair while ago now, 2008, 18 years ago, in a match against Fiji. It's his first World Cup finals. Well, this has been much better so far from New Zealand, following that rather chastening 4-0 scoreline against Haiti the other day, which will have raised a few eyebrows and given the manager a few extra worry lines. Header coming off Dan Burn and already behind the byline before James Trafford could get hold of it. Just over 10 minutes to go. New Zealand certainly not out of this one. And it's going to be de Vries, the substitute, just come on. From Auckland, 17th cap tonight. Underneath the crossbar, the header won by Esri Konsa. Free kick, Jude Bellingham says there, no rush, take your time. Ten to go, 1-0 England. Harry Kane with a header in added time at the end of the first half. Wayward off the boot of Anderson. Holds throw, Singh being harassed for possession. Fell kindly. And the pass from Stamenic, not good enough to find Barbarouses. Dan Burn. Anderson looking a little bit frustrated with the options provided for him. Nico O'Reilly back with Anderson now. Here goes Anthony Gordon. That was quite a lunge made by Alex Rufer. And Gamoa into Bellingham. Great feet from Jude Bellingham. Real bit of quality. O'Reilly was rather hoping he could tee up Livramento. Bellingham has it again, searching for an opening that just never really came. Just brushes off the challenge of Alex Rufer initially. More changes coming for New Zealand shortly. And here's the effort from Jude Bellingham. Scored a couple of goals at the last Euro against Slovakia and Slovenia. Plenty of changes here